Hi there, and welcome to Witchy Sips, the podcast where we talk about witchy things and where our drinks are witchy sips. So, witchy sip today is a London fog. It's some Earl Grey tea with oat milk. I think I had that last episode too. I think it's a pattern for the winter. Just because I didn't want to get the holiday drink this time around, because I've been drinking that way too much recently. So I got a London fog. Also, it's a really relaxing tea, so it's going to help me knock out today or tonight when I go to bed. So that'll be nice. So yeah, I hope your Christmas was pretty groovy. I hope it was full of whatever it is you wanted to do, whether it be with your actual family or with your chosen family or with, a box of pizza under the covers. That's also nice. I used to do that, and believe me, it loves me my pizza, and being in bed all day, just being lazy is kind of one of the greatest things about being an adult that you can do. But regardless, if whatever it is that you chose to do on Christmas, I hope that you enjoyed it, and it's just as valid as anybody else's experience. So we are close to the end of the year, and usually around the end of the year is when people start thinking about, oh, before I continue, I'm in a different place today, just because it's going to give me a good opportunity to finish off the episode with a quick little 3-card reading for the following year, which should be nice. The last time I did that was for Halloween, or first the Samhain episode. So I figured I'd bring it back and do it again just for the end of the year type thing. But yeah, so end of the year. A lot of times during this time of the year, everybody has that one question in their mind, like, what are we going to do next year? What are my resolutions? What are my goals? What are my plans? What am I trying to achieve? Right? And that actually brings us to today's topic, which is manifestation. I wanted to talk about manifestation just because I feel it's like one of those gateway practices that kind of just lead you into a more spiritual mindset. And so what is exactly manifestation? One of the articles that I read, the definition of manifestation said that spiritual manifesting is a practice in which we connect to the energies around us in a conscious and directed manner to produce a desired outcome. So basically the law of attraction. And so what you think about consciously or subconsciously is what you are attracting to yourself all the time. But also, that's not to say that it's just that and it's that simple, because there are so many other layers to it as well. There are a lot of layers and also actionable elements that you can do on your part to reach that goal or to attain whatever you're trying to manifest, or that you can practice to get into that mindset as well. Because it's not just like thinking about it and the universe is like, okay, here you go, without you actually having to do anything. That's not how it works. That's not how life works in general. Well, maybe actually for some people, like, Ed McMahon visited several people and gave them $1 million and they bought their dream homes. But that's neither here nor there. And like I said, I feel it's like one of those gateway practices to like magic or witchcraft. Or at the very least, a very superficial, basic level of spirituality that everyone can take a part of, even if it's not specifically intended to be to lead to other deeper witchcraft practices or magic practices or what have you. And so there are different ways that we can practice manifestation. It can be from like the smallest, most inconsequential thing, like manifesting a cup of coffee, to like manifesting your dream home. I know Audrey and I are currently working on that, each of us. I know she wants to live like in the forest somewhere, surrounded by animals and in a little cottage. Whereas I don't know, I just want a nice house. So see, I actually haven't put a lot of thought into my dream home. So I think that's more something to work on my part. One thing that I wanted to mention, when people make resolutions, New Year's resolutions or New Year's goals, it's pretty, I want to say for the most part, pretty doable. What usually gets in my way is laziness, procrastination, or distraction. Laziness, because I probably get too lazy to even like start doing the actionable elements of what I'm trying to manifest. Procrastination, I have had trouble in the past with procrastination, so that tends to happen. And distractions, sometimes I just get distracted by other projects. But for the most part, my personal goals and resolutions every new year are pretty attainable if I actually set my mind to it. I know this year I wanted to start playing guitar again, but I never actually got around to buying a guitar. So, because the last time I owned a guitar was in high school, and I think it's somewhere in my mother's house at this point, and my brother probably uses it. But anyway, yeah, I think they're all pretty attainable and fairly reasonable resolutions and goals every year that I set for myself. But it's just a matter of me actually going through with the process to attain those resolutions or goals. Also, I wanted to mention that in order to really appreciate the manifestation work that you do, it's important to keep an open mind, because that way we see the things that we set out to manifest come to fruition, but maybe they don't present themselves in the way that we expect. For example, like I mentioned earlier, manifesting a cup of coffee. It's not magically going to appear on your desk. Maybe a stranger pays it forward and you get a free coffee. Or maybe, I don't know, the barista's feeling generous and they're like, it's on the house. That kind of thing. But just putting it out there into the universe and frequenting coffee shops or frequenting places that serve coffee. That is you co-creating with the universe to make it possible for you to be in that circumstance, in that situation where you can get your free cup of coffee. And that would be manifesting a cup of coffee. Also, I know manifestation is a thing because Oprah Winfrey said so. I know that she's been known to credit her success and her achievements to the law of attraction, attracting these things into your life, these energies around you to mold themselves into whatever it is that you want to be manifesting. And so we're just going to talk about a couple of ways that we can work with the energies around us simply by doing certain things that make us feel that we are speaking as if it's already happening. Another example that a friend was telling me about was when, for example, if you're sick, you don't want to say, oh, I'm sick, or you don't want to say things like that. You want to put it in a different perspective as if you are already healing. For example, saying, I am healing from that sickness, or my body is recovering. That way you're speaking as if it's already happening, as if you're already healing. So you're bringing in that healing energy into your life, into yourself. And that kind of goes along with the first thing that we're going to talk about, how we manifest, which is sensory visualization. So instead of using just part of your senses, this technique encourages you to experience that dream by immersing yourself in all your senses. It offers a more wholesome visualization of your dream to be able to see it and feel it and immerse yourself in it so that you can more easily bring it in or attract it to you. So another technique that we can use as a means of manifestation is vision boards. I actually have been wanting to make a vision board. And it's funny because I want to say maybe like 10 years ago, I was speaking with a coworker and we were actually having coffee. And she was telling me about vision boards and also sigils. But she did it in a way that was kind of masking it. It was more just, well, you should make a vision board like what you want, like cut out pictures and cut out inspirational quotes and that kind of thing. And then she told me about how to make sigils, but she didn't use the word sigils. It was interesting because now looking back, I'm like, she's totally into this. But I never realized up until I was actually doing research for this episode. I was like, that's what she was talking about. How very interesting. Anyway, so vision boards, like I said, like she mentioned to me, it was all about cutting out like inspirational quotes that fit your dream or cutting out pictures of specific things. It never hurts to be as specific as possible about your dreams, because they're your dreams and it's what you want in your life, right? So it never hurts to be very specific. So if you find something in a magazine, I don't know, do people still use magazines? Or even finding pictures online that you can print out and just cutting them up and then pasting them or gluing them onto a regular little piece of, I don't know, board. Also, once you're finished with your vision board, even just hanging it or having it somewhere that you can look at it every day to remind you what your goals are, what you're working towards. That's a good way to manifest that. If you want to make a ritual out of it, you can burn candles on the four corners of your board and sprinkle them with rosemary and salt for protection, and rosemary for abundance and wealth. Let them burn down. If even those tiny little votive candles work, if that way you don't have to like leave it overnight or something, or that way you don't have to leave it unattended. But let them burn down, and then take the rosemary, take the salt, kind of mix it up, and go at a crossroads and dump it, while actively speaking your intention to bring in whatever it is that you're bringing into your life. That's one of the most beautiful and common ways that we can use vision boards as a tool for manifestation. So the third one is eliminating self-limiting beliefs. One of the quotes that came up in this article that I read was about the law of attraction and manifestation. So it says the law of manifestation is based on the principle that your thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and actions can transform into physical reality through focus and supportive action. And so by that, I mean, if you're constantly focused on debt, or if you're constantly focused on, oh, I have all these bills to pay, if you're constantly focused on the negative aspects of lack of resources, that is imposing reinforcement for that negative energy to come into your life. So instead, a way to change that perspective is to have gratitude and be thankful for what you do have, and be thankful for the fact that you can pay these bills. Be thankful for the fact that you can afford to live in the place that you live, and just be thankful in general for what you do have and what you can do with the resources that you have. One thing that it mentioned was having a conscious assessment of your inner monologue or your inner belief system when it comes to specific negative self-talk. So that way you can reflect on your subconscious belief patterns and just check to make sure that they're not undermining your ability to achieve your goals or your resolutions or whatever you're trying to manifest into your life. So this next one goes along with the previous one where we talked about being grateful and being thankful for what you do have. What's called gratitude journaling, or just even in general, if you could just take a moment for yourself and just be in the moment and be like, you know what, I am thankful for this. One of the websites that I was looking at in preparation for this episode talked about how there were a series of studies done by Nathaniel M. Lambert, and they concluded that developing an attitude of gratitude results in a more positive life outcome or positive life outcomes, and also a greater sense of happiness and satisfaction. And I think that goes along with just being able to focus on what you can do and what you do have and what is going good in your life. That way you're not dwelling on the negativity or on the lack of. And so making a daily list of what you're grateful for can enhance the power of your manifestation, as well as, or by elevating your consciousness and vibrational energy. So moving on to like how you actually set your intention for manifestation. You want to identify your what is it that you want to bring in, what is it that you want to manifest, and your why. why is this something that you want to manifest? And you allow the universe or your higher power, the energy that you co-create with, allow them to take care of the when, the how, and the where. Also, another important thing to remember is being able to surrender. Surrender to the idea that it works best if you're not attached to the outcome. Like, I'm fine right now and I want this, but if I don't get it, it's totally cool. Like, sometimes it happens that people want something so bad and they obsess over it in an unhealthy manner, or in a way that allows that obsession to take their power, to take their agency, to go about their business and go about their lives, which inevitably pushes that dream, that goal, that resolution further away. And so this next part, I want to read it directly from the article that I found, and I'll post it in the show notes so that way y'all can read the sources where I got this information. But I want to read this because I love what it says here about how to go about doing this, or rather what to do once you've set your intention. It says, the most dangerous thing you can do is to stop wishing. Go for your big wish and then contextualize everything that happens using your wish as the organizing element. If you have a setback, what can this teach you about manifesting your wish? Experiences have the purpose you give them, and purpose is one of the most powerful indicators of everything from happiness to longevity. I always tell the students to assume everything is good luck and to use it as such. I just thought that was just kind of a beautiful way to put it. If you're constantly focusing on how you think your manifestation should come to fruition, then you're not going to be able to focus on the other small ways in which it comes about. So like it says, set that intention, set your wish, set your dream, and use that to contextualize everything that's happening around you that's getting you closer to that goal. And that way you don't lose sight of what it is that you're doing. And that way you can appreciate the small things that are getting you there. I just kind of think that's brilliant and kind of beautiful. I know there is such a thing as toxic positivity, which I've been talking a lot about positivity and not focusing on the negative, right? Which, yes, definitely. But also, just as a side note, it's totally okay to be in your feelings. I know I have those days when I just want to stay in bed all day and do nothing but scroll TikTok or Instagram or social media, which is kind of probably not a good idea. But sometimes you just want to do that. You just want to have a day for yourself to just kind of sit in your feelings and be able to like recognize them and learn how to move through them. So yes, definitely set your intentions, be positive about it, don't obsess on the negative aspects. But also, if you feel like you're having one of those days, take that day and make it about you, make it about feeling those feelings that are causing you to be anxious or to be depressed or whatever. And so you can recognize them and actually be able to deal with them and move past them, because that's also an important learning experience about yourself and also about maybe your triggers, maybe life in general. That is how I wanted to close the manifestation topic. Again, this was all very general, very basic, but I will post the links where I found these articles in the show notes. That way you guys can take a read and maybe start your own little manifestation practice. Take a shot at it, and if you so wish, share your vision boards with us on witchysips on the Instagram page at witchy_sips. It would be great to see like some vision boards or just share in general what you're trying to manifest into your life. It's kind of great to hear from people. And I want to wish everybody a happy new year. But before I go, I I think I can mute this so that you guys don't have to hear me shuffle. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So before I let you guys go, I wanted to do a quick little 3-card reading for the new year ahead, which should be really exciting. And again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it resonates, then kind of great, and take that with you for the rest of the year and see how you can build upon it. So the first one we have is the Magician, which is kind of great because we were just talking about this manifestation. The Magician manifestation. The Magician is encouraging us to look at what we are doing to make our dreams come true, make our manifestation come to fruition. That is the energy of the Magician that I'm getting right now. We want to just take our own energy and make shit happen. Just do it. Be confident that you can co-create with the universe to manifest your dreams into a reality. The Seven of Swords encourages us not to fool ourselves into a depression. Don't let yourself don't let your inner saboteur get the best of you, because that's never a good place to be in. And the Four of Wands is a very happy card. I love it because it's so happy. It talks about positivity and good things coming for people. I have no idea how this 2022 is gonna go with the pandemic and with the COVID and with all the things, but there's always a silver lining, so just keep that in mind. Those are our 3 cards. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I wanted to let you all know that starting next Witchy Sips, I'm going to start picking out a major arcana card to kind of just go over and review at the end of each episode, just to share some tidbits, some meanings, some history on tarot as well. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you all the major arcana for all of 2022, 1 card per episode, and we'll see how that goes. So I hope everybody has a great and safe and happy new year, and I will see you all in 2022. Take care. Bye.